Please turn to page 7. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred. To the founder, the endowed, transcended destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcended destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcended destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, formed supremely pure, wisdom motion like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior, having great compassion, the founder, having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one gone to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage. To all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms, in all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a mirage, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the soul of thoughts, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. From Tushita's hundreds of God's protector's heart, to tip of this fresh, pure white heap curd like cloud, O Lotsandrapa, Dharma's omniscient king, pray come to this place with your disciples. In space ahead, on lion throne, lotus and moon, venerable gurus smile brightly with delight. Pray stay hundreds of eons to spread doctrine. As supreme merit, feel for my mind mind of faith. Your wisdom mind sees full range of knowables. Your eloquent speech adorns fortunate ears. Your beauteous body, fame, glory, outstanding. Homage to you, worthwhile to think of, hear, and see. Pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense, light perfume, and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and envisioned, offered up to you, supreme field of merit. Non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaped up since beginningless time, especially what has contradicted 3 vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife you strove to learn and practice, shunned a mundane concerns, made life essenceful. O protector from depths of our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable gurus from love and wisdom, clouds densely massed in your Dharmakaya sky, pray loose a rain of vast profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever virtue that I've here gathered bring benefit to all beings and doctrine, and may it make Venerable Losandrapa's essential teachings specially shine forever. Migme tsewe ten chen chen rezik, Gyume tempe wampo jompe yam, Drupu mother jonze song wedang, Ganchen kepe sungen Tsongkhapa, Losandrape jabla so wadeb. O glorious and precious root guru, pray take seat of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments of body, speech, and mind. O glorious and precious root guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments common and supreme. O glorious and precious root guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness, until supreme awakening remains steadfast. Homage to the exalted 3 jewels. Thus I've heard at one time the Blessed One was dwelling in Rajagriha on Vulture Mountain, together with a great assembly of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of the countless aspects of phenomena called profound illumination. At that very time, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the Great Being, was looking perfectly at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness of inherent existence of the 5 aggregates also. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the Great Being, how should a child of lineage wish to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the Great Being, replied to the Venerable Shariputra as follows. Shariputra, whichever son or daughter of the lineage wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look perfectly like this. subsequently looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty, without characteristics. That is, they are not produced and not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomenon. There is no I element and so forth up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and so cessation of ignorance and so forth up to no aging and death, and no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, and no path. No exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom, and because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhas who reside in the three times by relying upon the perfection of wisdom become manifest and complete Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the equal to the unequaled mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering since it is not false, should be known as the truth. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Tayata gate gate paragate parasam gate bodhisoha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva, a great being, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that concentration and said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, the great being, well said, O child of the lineage, so it is. The profound perfection wisdom should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, the great being, and the entire assembly, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, demigods, Gandharvas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised what had been spoken by the Blessed One. In the holy supreme abode of the Dakinis, possessed of clairvoyance and miraculous power, unwaveringly caring for practitioners as your children, homage to the hosts of the three places Dakinis. Tayata om gate gate paragate berkasati bodhisoha. Through the power of the truth of the exalted three-jewel speech, may all on the side of negativity, such as the four Amaras, be stopped. May they become non-existent. May they be pacified. All enemies, obstructors, and hindrances, shante kuri soha. The 80,000 types of obstructors pacified, free from adverse harmful conditions. May all be conducive and perfect auspiciousness, bring happiness and well-being here, right now. Saji Purki Jun Shi Me Tong Tram Ri Ra Ling Ji Ni De Gem Pa Li San Ge Jing Lu Mi Te Ua Yi Do Ku Nam Da Jing La Chu Pa Shou Je Tsun Lama Dam Pa Ke Nam Yi Ju Gu Kala Kien Se Drin Drine Jitar Sampe Duje Zima Aja Ye Chu Shodang Soki Chonam La Janchu Badu Dagni Kapsu Chi Dagi Chunem Gi Pesonam Ki Drola Penche Songge Dropa Sho Shodang Soki Chonam La Janchu Badu Dagni Kapsu Chi Dagi Chunem Gi Pesonam Ki Drola Penche Songge Dropa Sho Shodang Sokye Chonam La Janchu Badu Dagni Kapsu Chi Dagi Chunem Gipe Sonam Ki Drola Penche Songge Dropa Sho
Okay, good evening everyone. How's snow? You go away, right?
You cleared all day.
Yeah. Just yesterday all the snow. Today the mid-Lord or the mild. Lord, melt. Yeah. Anyway, it's nice. Have you guys went to walk yesterday? Everyone walk? Walk. Not walk. Walk. Anyway, even the snow also depending. Depending rising. The weather became cold, the water become ice, right? How the weather getting cold, and it changes the four elements, like that. Anyway, now we are going to, most complicated, most benefit, most powerful text we study. It's not easy to understand. In order to understand like that, we need to create a lot of merits also. But even, we just try to understand that, it's create a lot of merit. Okay? We want to set up the perfect motivation to benefit all Mother Assumption beliefs. I'm going to just study this text much as I can. Then, 5 minutes, okay? Try to visualization yourself. Identify yourself. Identify your head, first head. What's your head? Eyes, nose, ears, and one by one just hold your body. Then after you try to find your body or whatever you identify, then try to find yourself. Okay? It's 5 minutes. It's really 5 minutes. Okay? Nothing other thing. Just try to yourself. Suppose you research your body. Then you serve. How's it? Do you find? Okay. Can you point your head? Yeah, this is your head? Yes. This is your head? There go. Then double over.
Temple.
Then go was temple was Kumika was. Then go was. They Marawa, they Maras.
Neither of those things, right? Those parts. Which one is head?
Then Tarwa, then Pegor was. Then
Forehead, the hair.
in Narona Leper was.
Inside is brain.
There is a Tuji part in the children go near to us.
So can you find your head? Can you find your head in that way?
The visit Sawayana. And Dana Jita Chan Subu Chason, but Sawayana, near to us.
What about if you look at any other part of the body? Can you find yourself?
아니 얘는 아주 고요로 왔어. 고요로 왔어.
But there is a body, right? There is head.
근데 난 아주 간절해지네. 나도 못 찍어 살고 있어.
So how do we find it if there is a head? Then how do we find it?
It only exists conventionally.
가로 간절해나.
군소도 그랬어.
근데 딱 가서 각을 하고 이제 딱 고. 때네. 또 군도도 여사 다 가로. 다니대요 가로. 다니대요 가로.
군소도.
대도도 매봐. 군도도 요 다니면 되면 봐. 로. 고기로 와서. 다 간지 군도도 여서야 돼. 저는 간지면서 이제라 때네 요래서. 이제라 라리네 요래서 다 되는 고기로 와서 간지. 라면 매봐 고기로 와서.
So what do you mean by existing convention? So how does it exist convention?
Well, it functions.
It functions. So it exists nominally.
It
Since
exists nominally.
it exists nominally and
Yes.
conventionally. So what does it mean by convention existing? It has to depend, right? It has to exist by depending, through dependence.
Yes.
The head exists in dependence on not head.
No, it exists independence upon, well, and the
Gomela,
self.
That's a good one.
So there is a non-head.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Where's the non-head?
This is a not head.
A word.
Go ahead, go me chicha.
One. Can you give one?
A not
One
head?
non-head.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a not head.
Okay, the shoulder?
Yeah.
네 쇼는 고요 말아서.
That's not a head.
No, it's not a head.
누구는 고요 말아서. 누구는 고요 말아서.
So is there a head on the finger?
A head on the finger?
Yeah.
No, that's not a head.
누구는 고요 말아서.
So that's the head of the pen, right? The pen you write, it has
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
아니 모든 고요 말아서.
Car has a head.
Has a hood.
Head.
Hood.
It doesn't have that actually.
Yeah? It has a head.
Call it a head.
You would call it a head.
But
Head of the car. You don't know?
그래, 나도 고등 남았어요. 고등 남았어요. 고등 남았어요. 뭐로 왔어.
So the head depends on the tail, right? Head and tail. Head of the roll, tail of the roll. Right? Head and tail.
Okay.
그래서
So head comes from the tail.
같이 누구든 고요를 해.
So there's head on there's head on the finger.
It's okay. I'm not confused.
Tail on it. That doesn't work.
There's wheel on it.
I like head, not head better.
wheel. Going on.
이는 고주에 말았어. 누구는 고주에 말았어.
So there's no head of the finger.
고든 주.
There's no tail.
There's no head of the finger.
There's no tail of a finger.
쟤는 뎁들은 고주에 말았어.
So what about the book? Is there a head of the book? Head of the book?
This is top and the bottom.
That's the beginning of the book. Yeah. That's the head.
Anyway.
Beginning and end of the book, right? That's the beginning of the book and the end of the book.
고사대 그 자라가는 되게 담은 통 당수들은 골라 그러고.
So what is the head? Head is something, the top, right? Top of something is called head. beginning of something or top of something is called head. So you saw somebody walking at the beginning, right? That's the head of the rope. We call the head of the rope, right? So head and the hand, this whole part called hand, right? So there's a head or arm, right? The arm, there's a, so the arm has the beginning and the end, right? There's a beginning part of the arm and the end or the head of the arm. So when you do like this becomes the head.
It's too cold now. You just logically the
So if you look at it logically, then it's difficult to find the head, right?
Okay. That Kanji. That the name tells you that the new some that two chins some of the Nango and the Nabasati Raji matters of Ramina matters of Dempa matters at Kovachi Agres.
So if you think in that way, then you gain some understanding about not existing truly or not existing independently or not existing inherently.
Yang 안에 고 군도도 해야 돼. 간지 탄입이 쓰면 못 놓고다. 탄입이 쓰면 내가 대한 되고 말했어. 탄입이 쓰면. 배나. 먼저 내가 쪽설람나다 늘 말고. 배나 그내 여지. 이나 가도 갔다다 말고. 야 탄입이 쓰면 못 놓고 그래서 간지 내가 쪽설라면은 그 탄입이 쓰면 놓고 쪽설 많이 받도 왜로 되고 고 놓으러 봤어.
So when you talk about conventional existence, right? So you say, oh, it exists conventionally. It's this because it exists conventionally like that. When you talk about that, then it has to be a valid base for the denomination, right? For that name. You can't call this a book. If you call this a book, then it harms the denomination of the table. So it has to be on the valid basis of that denomination.
그래서 저는 맞아봐시. 그도 당연히 여와시. 당연히 때문에 만나가지고 그랬다.
So it doesn't exist. It should be something that doesn't exist truly, right? Not existing truly, but existing conventionally. And it should not be harmed by the denomination of that object.
배차시나 간도 제너럴라야 말걸라와샤나 뭐만 딱 거기 놓고 제너럴 따셔야 왔어. 어떤 모두 전 말걸 왜 얼고 왔는데 왜였네 Margaret Martha 모르겠나 말 모두 말 그런 노셔야 돼 민호도 살아고 고타님도 노그러 왔어.
So like you are called Jennifer, right? But if somebody said no, you are not Jennifer, you are Martha, then that's harming the nomination because you are not labeled or named as Martha. You are named as Jennifer.
저도 아고라 근데 고다 말 그런 분 노르도 고 따다 고라 그러 왔어.
So if somebody calls you Martha, then they say, oh no, that's mistaken. She's not Martha, she's Jennifer.
그래서 타님이 팀에 넣으면서 두서 됐어.
So whether it's harmed by the valid recognition of the denomination or not, it's like that.
얘나야 다 르는 저거 말했어. 파니 지 가로 따또베 따섬래 형티 시다나야 고아차고 그랬어. 또 따서는 다 줄도 고아차고 그랬어. 대차로 따다 소소 따다 조조씩 세봐. 도씩 다 세고 그랬어.
And so, we say it doesn't exist truly, but it does exist, right? And how does it exist? It exists as mere nomination or label, right? And so, but then how is it labeled merely? How is it merely labeled? So you have to understand that.
오케이. 다 가서는 시에 대신 봤을 텐다. 아니 쇼로가니 받아. 지들 그 바지에 뒤에 잡아 버려도 뒤에 잡아 버려도 강신 돌에 대답에 때린 적은 저 송스 뜻이도 왔어.
So last time we read there's verse number 2, right? It says, whatever degeneration there are in the world, the root of all this is ignorance. You thought that it is dependent on origination, the seeing of which will undo this ignorance.
아니 다 대단한 대소대 아니 지름 붙여 송으로 왔어.
So this is the the speech, or thought. This is the quotation from Lama Tsongkhapa, right?
얘는 지름보지에 대고 공대 산지 좀 내는 거 송요를 들어와. 대 공대. 대가.
So, but the source of this quotation, is taught by Buddha himself.
아니 산지 좀 내가 사루 점인 도서 되는 송도 보서 견하다. 땡진도 완전히 통화됐지. 대춘통을 해서. 견하다 하세. 아니 땡진도 완전히 하고도 춘통을 해서.
So this is said by Buddha himself in the sutra. So when you talk about sutra, usually sutra has to be something that is taught by Buddha or spoken by Buddha himself. So if it is spoken by somebody else, it will not be called sutra. So when you say sutra, it has to be. So in this sutra called Wise and Foolish, the sutra of Wise and Foolish, there, Buddha said, those who see the dependent origination sees the phenomena.
아니 세춘 통화돼 산지 통을 해서.
So whoever sees the phenomena, sees the Buddha.
아니 생 땡긴다고 더 아니 원동을 했지. 아니 동호 시 땡기지 와 데려다 아니 다 땡기가 아니 땡긴다고 저 받을 가르스나 내 옆에 땡주 내 집에 내 집에서 어두라 그래서.
So then what is the like say those the one who sees the dependent origination is the one who sees the phenomena. So then what do you mean by seeing the dependent origination, right? And so dependent origination is because this is there, therefore this is there. So because this is here, therefore that is here. So this depends on that depends on this, right? And so because this is here, therefore that is here. Because this is produced, therefore it exists like that. So because there is a tail, therefore there is a head. Like that.
아니 지대 그 맞아 대서 마리바드 요가 인자 아니 심전하다 고알 고요레스 송으로 봤어.
So he says the root of all this is ignorance. Because there is ignorance, therefore there is samsara. There is circling in samsara.
아니 남자 초조 땡땡라 주니데 초조 마음 고녀로 봤어.
So you have already heard so many times about the 12 link of dependent origination, dependent rising, right? Dependent origination.
근데 잠깐 좀 돼.
12 link, do you know what are they? Can you count them?
Count. Fast.
Yes.
Ignorance, aging, no, that's not.
Go to the order, okay?
Yeah, so it's ignorance,
Okay.
karma, consciousness.
Okay.
Contact? No, not yet.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Name, form.
Geshe Tsulga.
And then you have contact. You have to have the six
Contact.
senses before contact. So
Then feeling.
feeling, grasping, craving, grasping, existence, birth, aging, and death.
Is it correct?
Yeah.
Got it. Good job. 어떤 대신을 듣는다. 아니 식당 단단 가서 땡달로 주니 세도 아니 공사대 강사대 코와라 땡달로 주니 코레스 코와라 도와라야 아니 땡달로 주니데 마리바 도와이나 아니 대제도 남시 동로 그래 두 송으로 봤어.
So sentient beings circle in cycle existence through the dependent, through this 12 link of dependent origination, right? So because of the ignorance, you create a karma. Because you create a karma, therefore you leave the imprint of the karma on the consciousness. And because there is an imprint of karma, an imprint of the consciousness, therefore, it gets activated, by craving, grasping, and existence, right? And so all this it depends on that. So when you avert or when you stop in the cycle existence, this is how you enter the cycle existence, right? So through the ignorance, you create karma, and leave the imprint of karma there. And when you also avert or when you stop the cycle existence, you first stop the ignorance. Because you stop because there's no ignorance, therefore there's no creation of karma. Because there's no karma created, therefore there's no imprint of the karma to be left on the consciousness like that.
Okay. 다만 마리바세야디 간지 미시바들라 그래서 미시바스로.
So ignorance means not knowing, right?
배는 디월 위지 값은 좀 도만 디월 가르베요 좀 도만 말어 봤어.
So if I hide something behind under my book, then you will not see it, right?
Was that
You
here?
will not see.
Can you see here? Anything? Can you see that?
So ignorance here is, ignorance is, that so it's obscures one from seeing the reality, seeing the reality. So then there's two kinds of ignorance. There's the ignorance and ignorant, to the karmic law of cause and effect, and the ignorance, that is ignorant, to suchness. So we have both of them, both kinds of ignorance. So the ignorance that is ignorant, to the karmic law of cause and effect is that, if you create a good karma, you will have a good result. If you create a bad karma, you'll have a bad result. So we're ignorant to that. So of course, we will say, oh no, I'm not ignorant to that. I know that, right?
Right? We all say that.
So, but what do you think? Do you have that ignorance? That ignorance that is ignorant, to karmic law of cause and effect? Do you have that? So how do you prove that you have it? But you know that if you create a non-virtuous action, you will have a suffering as a result. If you create a virtuous action, you will have a happiness as a result. You know that already, right? So how are you ignorant, to the karmic law of cause and effect?
Keep creating non-virtuous actions.
Sorry? Yeah, you guys good. Yeah, like that. Nandu karota. Nandu lapsing yours.
The most
Tapi toyo the most tomada chinda. Hako the tomata kalona. Nandu tinesa the hako then Nandu telekaji. Laleta Matava thing on the teaching. Yabutomi.
So so you can say that way, you realize it, but you are not realized directly. That's one way of saying, right? So that makes also some understanding. But anyway, so we know it, but we're not able to stop it, right? So it shows that we really don't know it, like that. So do you guys believe in dice divination? You know dice divination? Do you know? Yeah, more. It's called dice divination, so somebody will check for you. Somebody will do, pray to a god or deity, and then throw a dice for you, and then throw the dice, and based on number of the dice, and then it will tell you, oh, this is good, this is bad, like that. So that kind of things. Do you believe in that?
I don't believe in who's doing it.
Huh? It depends on who's doing it.
And
What about the palm reading? Palm reading?
I think that, you can say things about people based on their lines.
간제 다 술 해주잖아. 대리 찔러 이체 요와 있나? 제가 달로 청한 게 샴테들인데 저거만 줘야 보면 들어가 있나? 다 샴테들 좀 받는 건 저거 쉽게 그러 왔어.
So anyway, so if you believe in that, anyway, if you believe in the dice divination or more, and then you go and do the more, somebody does more for you, and then the person says, okay, you have to do these things, right? Or this puja, that puja, so that kind of practices and so forth. So after that, if you are not able to do it, if you don't get it done, then you will not be satisfied, right? You will be like, worried, thinking, oh, I didn't get to do that. Maybe there's something bad going to happen to me. So you have that kind of a doubt or superstition in your mind, right? But we don't have that kind of doubt or superstition about creating negativities or generating delusions in our mind, right? So most of the time we can, maybe sometime we can stop that, but most of the time we cannot, right? So from that also you can tell that we are ignorant to the karmic law of cause and effect.
다 대코는 뭐뭐도 또 요래 간지 아니 이분의 relation 이분 딱 내로 주저발로 또 말하니 딱 그러고 신줄로서 그는 미시나 때네 땅도 지링하에서 이제 막이와 나라라 잡아잖아 다음에 나와더니 대사셔라 동원도 뭐 사요래서.
And then, of course, no need to mention about the ignorant to the suchness or the reality, right? And so, because of not knowing the reality, and then we develop or generate all these negative emotions like attachment, anger, jealousy, and so forth. So these are all comes from the ignorance of not knowing the reality. So out of ignorance, then we create some kind of action, right? So that's called karma. So the karma, once the karma is created, the karma is gone, right? The action is done, that there's no more, the action is no more there, but the imprint of the action is left. Where is it left? It's left on the consciousness. So it's like, when you spill oil on a paper, and then the paper will suck the oil, right? So you can still see you don't see the oil, but you see the stain of the oil on the paper. It's like that. So the Vaibhashikas and Sautantika, the schools, will say that the consciousness, the imprint of the action is left on the consciousness. So it's like it's on the mental consciousness. And then there's a school who believes in the basis of all, the basis of all. And so it says that if you believe in that, then you leave that the imprint of the action on the basis of all. And so and then and so there's the according to the Pasangika Madhyamika school, that imprint is left on the eye, on the mere eye. So that, and again, when we talk about the consciousness, there are two parts of the consciousness. So there's one, the causal consciousness and the resultant consciousness.
Yes.
Doesn't the Heart Sutra say there is no consciousness?
Yes, that means there's no consciousness exists from its own side. Doesn't mean there's no consciousness at all. No consciousness exists from its own side.
Okay.
There is consciousness, but not exists from its own side.
Yeah, I guess I'm just curious why there are schools of people that believe
different things.
that it doesn't exist if it's so clearly stated that it exists. I guess there's gradations of existing truly versus.
I want to do what I want to do. I want to do And so yeah, different schools have different explanation about how things exist. So according to the Pasangika Madhyamika schools, the things do not exist from their side at all. It all exists, because it is labeled by the mind. It's all because it's labeled by the mind. But then on the Savatandika Madhyamika school, which is lower than the Pasangika Madhyamika school, says that it's not only merely labeled, it has to exist from its own side also. It has to exist from its own side, and it has to be labeled, so it has to be two together. And then other schools says, no, it doesn't have to be labeled at all, it only exists from its own side. It exists truly, it exists from its own side.
Okay,
so we talked about two parts of the consciousness, right? So the causal consciousness and the resultant consciousness. So the causal consciousness is the consciousness which keeps which holds the imprint of the karma.
Dreading Navisha the more by Changa Tati less and enjoy the new coming of Shida, tell dreading of Shila.
And then the resultant consciousness is the consciousness at the time in the future, when you experience the result of that karma. And so that kind of consciousness, that kind of karma can be experienced, and can be experienced. The result of that karma can be experienced in the immediate life, in the next life, or up to like thousands and millions of lifetimes later also. So this is of the same continuum. So this is one continuum. So this is the consciousness of this time and consciousness of that time in the future when it experiences the result. Could be one life later or could be million life later, right? So that's all in one consciousness. So this is one continuum. So we call it another word for the mind is also called continuum. So there's one continuum. So therefore it's a one mind. So it's not somebody else experiencing it. It's the same person who carries that same continuum is experiencing it.
Tendola Juni, Tendicaro, that tended Tachibi Tendola Juni, Tesla Zomchari, Tesla Payomaris, Tesla Yamana Techila, Techila Zoyamari, Teni, some kind of Zogores.
So the 12th link of dependent arising, dependent origination has to be completed in either 2 or 3 lifetimes. Okay. It cannot be completed in one lifetime, or cannot go more than 3 lifetimes.
That one cannot 3 lifetimes, Lord Ponta Tatamobang, the Tijan, Gavando to take it was. They do some Maris Pena. $10 Charangi Pena, Legisai, but T leg Namsit Shigalaga, and then Pena Pechashana. That George Mother Kati on the Pena, Yashi or that. Do it in the Yamato. Yaman do it. Did you make your military? Did you know the Yawati Lesayana? Letana Sagiwana? Tango Lemomushu, Tanda Kira, Mashalagachi, Mikia little Simatani, Yawati little Pasitana, Tanda Kira Sida little Kuladres, Lesha by Pichtanos.
So when we talk about completing in 3 lifetimes, so it doesn't mean that in a sequence, or one after another. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be like many lifetimes later. So right now, you create a karma to be born as a human being. You get a karma to be born in a hell realm. Right? You create a karma to be born as so many different kind of beings. So let's say you create a karma to be born as a human being, and you create a karma to be born as hell being. And at the end of your life, you activated that karma to be born as a hell being, and you are born immediately. Next life, you are born. But you have created that karma to be born as a human being, right? So that karma is not activated yet. That's still there. So even your continuum, your mind continues, to the next life as a hell being, your karma still goes, with that. It's still there, but it's not completed. So you can go from if it's not activated in that lifetime again, and then it can go to the next lifetime, and next lifetime, until it's activated, and then it will experience the result. At that time, then it will be completed.
Kala Sosha, Kalandam, Sosha, that's how Sani Kia the Kalanda in some shadow. Sani Kala Tema goes, Kala Shambakana, Sani Kala Hard was what this one was.
So, like if you have prepared a meal for a whole week, different kind of meals for the whole week, and today I'm going to eat this, tomorrow I'm going to eat this, tomorrow I'm going to eat this. You have planned like that. So the meal that you have planned to eat tomorrow, you say, I'm not going to take that tomorrow, I'm going to take another one. But the one that you planned to eat tomorrow is still there. Right? Well, you took the meal that you were going to take day after tomorrow, and you took tomorrow, and so the meal that you prepare for tomorrow is still there. It's like that.
Okay. Yes.
Well, that's 2 lives. You said someone
that can be. That 2 lives. That 3 lives. That Juma Kadi ko music jewel by na, and take up the ko. That jewel teleman and the cushion thing down on the door was. Tanda Kevan the lesson was. Tanda the Chila and Eco Chila Marin system to control was. Tadi Cheshimade College Mayomaro, Pasachan Shajava. Tadi Cheshima Kadi Mutsi Lambayana, Tegalaya, and the Cheo Kablaya, and in Namshida, the Kamato, Yan Pasha de Kalaya, 아니 Geshe Tenley 도 파존에 같이 끼웠음 도착을 그랬어.
So you have created a karma, right? So through out of ignorance, let's say in this lifetime, let's just count like a 4 lifetimes. So this lifetime, you created the karma. And out of ignorance, you created karma, and you left the consciousness, and the imprint of the karma on the consciousness. So in this lifetime, and then that karma, and you don't activate it next life, right? And so that karma is still there. And so then the very next lifetime, and at that time, then the craving, grasping, and existence, activates those with that karma. The karma created in this lifetime, it gets activated in this lifetime. And then the result, then you are born, in the 4th lifetime, then you are born. When that karma is activated with the craving, grasping, and existence, and that you get the result of the name and form, and the birth and so forth. So that happens in that lifetime. So that's how you finish in 3 lifetimes like that.
Okay, that mari bandeshi namshi tanga so lapsa so was. Ta namshi jila kare tijila. Mari deshi namshi sam. O taro ni do show das. Ni ma ni number esa nambe oma tawa do pe ko kebara ya boyersa. And ko lo jipchi se nambe lo jo chene and ko pa ishi pa jero resa. And ko kala na the chiji kaso mila so dangi mit temaso. Ko kono temdra mamu chero o me tayo ko leina. And da ko ta number le chome des. Kana 지금 레사 레디 젬바지가 농이 레디 젬바레샤스 아니 나티아고 마시는 양주 나랑 그 쪽보다 남이 토야가 레버스 캠데 무엇인 거です 텔레 20판나 20도나 그 야보제나 아니 차단님도 토야가 레버스 아니 그 팔록서 말했어 그래서 단단 가서 남식 텔레산도 가로 배전하려 요스 가로 젠지 살아 젠지 사원에서까지 레젠지 사 레젠지 용도 땡요 고야 보면 땡 용근인가 요스
So I also want to tell you a story about this scholar, American scholar, who studied Buddhism for about 40 years, and he was very, learned in views about even the middle way views, and he even wrote a book about the middle way view, and but later he converted into Christian. The Buddhist, the scholar converted into Christian. And this was the problem that he faced, because he said because he didn't know how to put it together, the consciousness of this lifetime and the consciousness of the next lifetime. So it's a different. He thinks it's a different, right? So you can think it as a different. So this is the consciousness that created the karma, and that's the consciousness that experienced the result. So there's a 2 separate consciousness, and so there's no point. If I die, I will not remember my relatives, my families, nobody. I'll not remember anybody, any of them, and in the next life I'll not remember. And so that doesn't make any sense to me. But if you follow the Christianity, then so you all, if you do good, you all go to the heaven, and you can all meet there again. So that's why he converted into Christianity.
Okay. Tako 내가 변한 제도 용도 생각도 나도 단다 레산이 레디 뒤에와 심하진 레오요스 나가도 땡고는 자기도 왔어. 나도 단다 나도 뒤에와 금방을 가르쳐가면서 수직 도움도 왔어. 감도 왔어 연구를 했어.
And so the karma created in this lifetime, we don't experience the result right away. We experience the result of that karma in the next lifetime. So that will be like different kind of being, right? But the same continuum, but a different kind of being. So it feels like, oh, it's not you, you are somebody else is experiencing, like that. So it is possible to think like that.
Okay, that 말이 무슨 남시지. 다 뒤질러 가로 민수 진로와. 아니 민세대 간에 땅 가서 가로 민수 쉐어로 와서 간지 먼저 가고. 어저 다트로 장할 때 나가래. 다도 남식 때 나가래. 남식 가로다. 남식 봉보 때려나가 요래서. 아니 대지반에 좀 된데서 골라는 거. 아니 다티 코 장가자다 전에 안에 말이 변듯이 남시지. 아니 뒤에올라 아니 매수줄이 변된 적이 있어. 나바시 가로. 나바시지. 가로 남시지 된데지. 뒤줄라 매수줄이 변된 데서. 아니 간지 간지 주다트로를 좀 하다 될라고 이러고 하시. 제지도라 그래서 제지도. 뒤질라 매수줄이 변된 무조건 제지 아니 제지 쪽. 무조건 되는데 뒤질라 아니 제지 쪽 되는데 뒤질라 레베트를 봤어. and the Mizu said the Kanji Zuda to Rujangashi, Namshi Sajido.
Give it in the town to somebody.
Tindeoman. Mizu, Namshi Telero, Tijula Mizu, and Meiji, Zuj Kani Jota. When the Zumikatzulaya Zuyo Marwa, and the Meg the Tokyo. And the Manzoina and the Zu de Tokyo, the Tokyo.
But it was a keyword to the rock.
That Karo, Tangajan, Tangajan,
Pardosane.
Badusan. You are true got it. To Pando,
Some joke was
Ringing to Japsan. Gentani. Tamotan the Tangaja, Tangajan, marrying the shit Namshi, Mizu to Tangaja was. Tangajan, the shit Namji Jetan Kagares. Then the Tangaja, marrying the shit Namji, and Mizu 10 days. Tijala Jechi took 10 days. Jechi Tulanta and the Rabazo was.
And so, after the consciousness, then was the name and form, right? So name and form, it comes, and when the consciousness is conceived in the womb. Is that right? So that's what the understanding is. So yeah, so when so at that time, actually the dependent origination of the birth is already started, right? So birth starts at the conception. So when you're conceived, when the consciousness is conceived in the womb, the birth already starts from there. Anyway, so this is when we count, right? So there's the cause and result like that. And so first, the consciousness, the imprint of the karma is left on the consciousness, and then through that, you get all these results of the name and form. So name and form, there's like. So both, right? So it doesn't have to be both. It can be one, right? Or it can be just name. Like the formless realm doesn't have a form, and so you only use the name for them. And then from there, and there comes the 6 sources, right? The eye consciousness, the ear consciousness, and so forth. And then after that comes the contact, and then the feeling, and so forth. Right? So then that's just a counting name. The way you count it, as a cause and effect, cause and result. But that result, before that, after the consciousness, the imprint of the karma is left on the consciousness, then that karma has to be activated. And how it gets activated is by craving, grasping, and existence. So that actually, when the way it happens, is in that way is, so the 4th should be the craving, and the 5th should be grasping, and then the 6th should be grasping, and the existence like that, right?
Okay. 아니 근데 좋아지. 다 좋아라 때네. 아니 세바티가 됐어. 단 대작쳐도 세바다데 아니 지 대화라 잡이 잡아. 동화라 아니 지 가로. 다 간이 세바니 잡아지게 그래서.
And so about the result of that, the ignorance, volition and consciousness, is the name and form, the 6 sources, contact and feeling. So when you have the feeling, then from the feeling, then comes the first you have the contact, right? From the contact comes the feeling. Then from the feeling comes the craving. Right? So in order to have the craving, you have to have the feeling. So, I like that. So that kind of craving. And then there's a grasping. Grasping is also kind of a craving, but it's a stronger. So first you say, I want that. And then you say, I really need that. I really want to have that. I must have that, like that. Then you want to have it. So that's the existence.
아니 대라 아니 지미든 레발았다 레미 지라다 말래 인제다 스방 코아 그래서
and so that existence, so then you have, like with the craving and grasping, you have established that existence, whatever existence you're going to have is existence. So that would be like, if you're going to be born as a human being or a hell being, that's the existence. So that actually is the samsara, right? So existence, samsara. So that was given, the name is the result. The name of the result given to the cause. And so your karma is activated by the craving and the grasping, right? And then you're like very ready to have the next result. So when you have activated that, and then you're very ready to have that result, that's called existence.
주식들이 그러고서 기획하시.
많이 가서 주고.
네. 단디가도 안에 가로 기획 때는 다 먼저 쥐도 주신이라고 was. 다들 지단 요다 내가 지야지 다 지요래서. 양도 지야서 싫어 막 랩서부터 지와나 아니 지베들이 더 그래서. 아니 지베들이 좀 기지 집안에 아니 개와다. 아니 희와다 그래서. 또
So then, so again the birth, right? So normally, we say birth is when you come out of the womb, you're born. But there's also a way of counting it. So when you are conceived, it's also born. So from the moment you are conceived, you are born, or you can say you are born after you come out of the womb. So whichever way. So when you are born, that's the dependent link of birth. And then after that, soon after you are born, so the second moment of your birth, you have aged already. So you're already starting to age. The dependent link of aging starts from the second moment of birth.
Okay. 그래서 다시 다시 transition도 이나 제가 좀 제가도 제가 말했어. 다 콜레가 제가 듣는 말했어. 말들이 남신은 당보이 받지. 대지라 아니 셀레스바 섬도 그래서. 되네 주네 아니 제제도. 아니 무즈 아니 되네. 아니 제게니. 또 그러고서. 제나 말듯이 남셨음. 되네 될라 아니 되네가 남식이 되라 아니 셀레스바니가 셋업 되라는 그렇게 되게. 될라 되네 아니 무즈다. 아니 신체 중다 아니 레바나 소바듯이 어떻게 우리 제나제나.
And so this is how you count the counting, the way you count, but the way it really happens is not like that. Like I said, earlier, the first that happens is ignorance, and then from there comes the volition or the karma, and then the consciousness, which takes the imprint of that karma, and then from there that karma, and then the fourth one would be like the craving. The karma will be activated by the craving and grasping, and then comes the existence, and then from there comes the birth. The birth starts from there, like with the name and form, the six sources, contact, feeling, and so forth. And then after that, when the birth starts, and then the second moment of that, the aging starts, and then after that comes the dependent of the death. And so you depending of death, right? So after that, then you you are born again, and you're born again, you die again, you're born again, you die. So you go in that circle of birth and death, right? So that's called samsara.
Okay. 그래서 다 대도라다 마리바디 도는 강신 통에 대도바세다 마리바디 도와이나 땡지 도와주면 도와나 마리바도나 아니 되지 레도나 아니 레샤사 그러다 남식 넣어주세요.
And so so that's just like it is said here, and then you taught that it is the dependent origination, the seeing of which will undo this ignorance. So if you undo the ignorance or abandon the ignorance, then that will avoid the creation of the karma. If you avoid the creation of the karma, then that will also avoid the consciousness that holds the karma, the imprint of the karma. So you understand that part, right? That's how it is related. So one who sees the dependent origination is the one who sees the phenomena. So the one who sees the phenomena is the one who sees Buddha. So if you see the dependent origination, through that you will achieve state of full enlightenment. So now today I think we start from the verse 4, right? And so this one says, this being so, who will find, O Savior, a more wonderful way to praise you than to praise you for having taught this origination through dependence. And So he says, you Buddha, who has great compassion and loving kindness towards all beings, and can be praised for your qualities of your body, for the excellent qualities of your speech, for the excellent qualities of your mind. But by praising you for having taught the dependent origination, is the praise that only belongs to you. So nobody can be praised for in that way. For nobody has taught that. There's no better way of praising you than to praise you for having taught the dependent origination. And then the verse 5, it says, whatsoever depends on conditions, that is devoid of intrinsic existence. And what excellent instruction can there be more amazing than this proclamation? So whatsoever depends on condition, that is the devoid of intrinsic existence. So the Vaibhashikas and Sautrantikas also assert that the things do, like the compounded phenomena do depend on conditions, right? So because they depend on conditions, therefore they exist from their one side. Whereas here it says, the Buddha said, because whatsoever depends on the condition, therefore it doesn't exist inherently or from its one side. So because it depends on the condition, therefore it is devoid of existing inherently. So he says that what excellent instruction can there be more amazing than this proclamation? And so the Vaibhashikas, Sautrantikas, and like even Chittamatta assert that things exist inherently, because things depend on the conditions, therefore they exist inherently. And so, then also in the other sutra, Buddha said that which depends, anything that depends on the condition, is not born. So it doesn't mean not born, but not born inherently. So whatever depends on condition, cause and condition, is not born. So it's like not born, not born, but not born inherently. Make sense? Do you understand? So Vaibhashikas and Chittamatta, they said because the things depend on cause and condition, therefore they exist inherently. And so all the compounded phenomena, right? So the phenomena that are compounded together. So those kind of phenomena are all dependent origination. They say yes, they are all dependent origination because they depend on a cause and condition. So therefore they are all dependent origination.
Okay? That Chetan is gelatin, Chiva in the Rangi Tabare, Ramuni Tabares, and the Kangaku Chibasha was.
So because it is dependent on cause and condition, therefore it's existing inherently.
Ta Umar Tajive, Jana Gelatin, Chua in the Rangun Matabare, Rangi Matabare, but
So whereas the Prasangika Mata, because it is dependent on cause and condition, therefore it is empty of existing inherently. So that's like very opposite, right?
Okay? Do you have any difference you understand? To the Toronto US?
Any question on that?
Yes.
Can you talk to the part about the completely, oh yeah, if it's dependent on conditions and it's dependent on conditions, and how can it not be born?
The Kela Ralewana, Kachan Magavaris. Kela Ralewana, and Kachan Magavaris.
Kela Ralewa, Zimbala Ralevaris, Zimbala. Sotalonga Maris, Suzora Maris.
So because it is dependent on cause and condition, therefore it's not born independently. Independent, not born. Not born means like it's not born because it's dependent on the cause and condition, therefore it's not born. But what do you mean by not born? So it's not born independently.
So just like pop out.
So it's born. So it's born through dependence, through the dependence on cause and condition, right? So therefore, because it is born, by dependent cause and condition, therefore it's not born inherently, without dependent cause and condition.
Okay?
So if you don't have that independence, you don't have that independence, and you don't have that power. That means somebody else has the power. You're born, right? But you're not born through your own power. That means there's somebody else's power. So that's cause and condition.
Okay?
Quality.
Yes. Who?
Is there anything that is independently originated that we can find in our life?
I'm going to do what? Can you find?
No, we should have checked this right now.
You should check.
Sanjay,
There's independence existence. Is there something independent existing? Something existing independently? No? So yeah, of course, yes. Buddha said there isn't anything existing independently. So Buddha said it doesn't exist, but then we cannot just believe just because Buddha said it. So right, Buddha also said that you have to check it, just like you would check the gold, by cutting it, rubbing it, and burning it. So you have to check, like Buddha's teaching. And even though it's said by Buddha, you have to check it. So like earlier, we did a check on our head. So this is, we have a head, right? We all have a head. So which is our head? When we, when we try to find it, we couldn't find it. There's no independent head that you can find. So I say, okay, this is the head. You cannot point like that. But there is a head. So all these things, we label as a head. So that's the head. The level, the mere level head is the head. Is it?
Okay.
So again, you have to, it has to be conventionally correct to call it a head. Right? You can't call this a head. This is a fist, right? You can't call fist a head. So is it wrong to say head to the fist? Yeah. How is it wrong?
It's improperly labeled.
Yeah, because there is a mind which knows this is not head. So whether it is it is harmed by the conventional nomination or not depends on whether there is a mind which knows it's not head. Right? So because it contradicts to that mind. There's a mind which knows this is not head. So if somebody else says, oh, this is head, then it harms that mind which knows it's not head. So just like we put the example of calling Jen a Martha. So somebody who knows she's not Jen, she's not Martha. To that mind it harms, right? If you call she's Martha. And so because there's other mind, which knows that she's not Martha. So therefore it harms. So therefore it's not correct, to call her Martha.
Okay. That the ordained, then you look at
All right, so next verse is this.
Kando Sui Shivanan, Tanzan Shiva, Ten Shepas. Then you learn Tomali Chivago. That Digana, then this Sunday Kando Sui Shivanan was Tendig Namja de and the Lum Keba and the Tandama Homadu and the Digila Deni Show in that Tiga Dematavares at the 10 dollars. 10 dollars. Tanzan Shiva, 10 Shepas, called.
And so it says like, by grasping at it, the childish strengthens bondage to extreme views. So here, so like, by grasping at it, so like saying that things do not exist independently, or things exist through dependence. So that, the grasping at that, grasping at it, the childish is referring to the Bhavashika, Sautantikas, and Chidamatins, right? That will strengthen the bondage to extreme view. So the extreme view is existing from its own side. It's the extreme view, right? So it will strengthen that view. Understand? And so that dependence on cause and condition, makes them to understand even more about the existence of independence, or existing from its own side, or existing inherently. So that is, according to the Prasangika Madhyamika view, that's the extreme view. Right? To say things exist inherently or from its own side is extreme view. But to them, it proves even more to exist from its own side when it says it's dependent origin, and it depends on the cause and condition.
아니 다 대니 쪽은 개파에 다음에 집어는 다 대니게 땡땡이 나오잖아. 개파도 그거는 아니 지금 나들어도 단서다. 아니 지금 가지 돈도 근데 매버서 다 고유는 만들어 보자고 그랬어.
And so for the wise, this very fact is the doorway to cut free from the net of elaboration. So for those who really understand, the wise ones, so this is the doorway, to cut free from this elaboration. So that, so the wise ones will understand through that, like so when you say things exist, through dependence on cause and conditions, from that, the wise ones will understand that they don't exist inherently, that they don't exist from their own side. And so with that way, then it will cut free from the net of elaboration. And so for the Prasangika Madhyamikas, if you say things do not exist from their one side because they exist through dependence on cause and condition, like that. If the things do not exist inherently, or things do not exist from their one side because it is dependent origination. If you say that helps them to understand how things do not exist inherently. So, but for the lower schools, so when you say, let's say, the compounded phenomena do not exist from their one side because they are dependent origination. So if you say that, the proof, the reason being the dependent origination helps them, to understand better that they do not exist from their one side. But for the lower schools, it makes them to understand, makes them to hold it even stronger, that things exist from their one side.
Okay. Any questions? Yes. Yes, yeah.
I thought the views of the lower schools were to help people get closer to the crossing peak of view, so that they were sort of progressively, would bring people towards the crossing peak of view. Saying the opposite.
그럼. 된다고 맞죠?
너 엄마도 저기 따와대 내가 있는데 되게 좀더 공막이 따와 내야 되는 록치가 도치가 됐어. 근데 삼성 그런. 다들 메디컬 가와래도. 또 엄마기 내 따와 dim바는데 공막이 따와대 내야면 됐어.
근데 전다 엄마가 따와도 휴치해서 왔는데 전다 엄마 가면 따와 놓고 말했어. 다 전다 엄마가 따와를 때는 따와다 따다 많이 벌 단데 될 하여 야 고아이나 야도 배도 걸어봤어.
Yeah, so if you grasp very strongly on the lower views, then of course you will not go to the higher view, But if you say, okay, this is what the lower view says, but maybe there's a further than that, and then you will try to check, and then you will find that there's another way. That way it will help you to understand the higher views.
아니 만족을 때문에 사람은 더 대발라서 그도 때리를 시작해서 때리를 준비 시작해서 때리는 거 시작해서 얘나 다 아니 지금 라문은 말을 때리를 드리 그래도 건조지는 그냥 나는 너무 맞다 근데
So
다니잖아
the lower school, like Babishka and Tseten school, also talks about dependent origination. So it says, things do depend on cause and condition and so forth. They do, but then when you say that, but the things do not exist inherently or from their one side, then it doesn't make sense to them at all.
근데 지나서다 나한테 달래고 공부하는 놈도 뭐도 원로 기체들 들어 건조고 상주 소된다도 저번 나도 좀 시작해서 얘나 때리가 나잖아도 그도 다니도 전에 장 말했어.
So like maybe if you go to the Theravada monasteries, temples here, like the Vietnamese or other Theravada temples, and they will talk about all the 37 branches of enlightenment and so forth. They will talk about all that thing, but if they will not talk about if you ask them about dependent origination, they will not know. They will not be able to much tell you about it.
아니 고도 다니도 장 말아 왔어. 다니도 요 말했어. 아니 고도 아니 나도 막 강사 다음에 시작을 했어.
So because they don't use that term, but if you talk about the selflessness of phenomena or selflessness of person, then they will again explain to you about that.
오케이. 그래서 간지 먼저 전다 오메가 따와도 야보지 시와나 알레 다 대든 정도야 수술로 치잖아. 아니 전다 셴바지 고 발로로 들어고 왔어. 아니 셴바도 쭈보다다나 셴바 영화도 동 말아 왔어.
And so if you see the lower view and then it says, maybe there's this is what it says, but maybe there's another way of understanding it also, and then you search for that, then it can help you to understand the higher views. But if you just only think about the higher view, then you only know the higher view, but you are not ignorant to the lower views.
오케이. 두 번째는 야야야 지금 알레 다 되는 좀 되는 지금 단다지도 단다를 완전 봐봐야 공동으로 해야 돼.
So you say, that's not it, so that's not the end of it. So it has to have further than that, and then you check, and then you go better and better like that.
Okay. Yes, here. Yes.
That says that the Vaibhashika school believe in a partless particle, something that is not dependent. You know that.
그것도 딱 봐도 되게 캥겨 말아.
따박해는 말. 따박 가고 되는 자동 말했어. 되는데 그도 이제는
콜라스는 참여해라. 참여해 가서 드린 참여해서요. 드린 참여들 때문에 말했어. 드린 참여된다. 거 차갔다 됐어요 말아. 되죠? 되게 많이 써요. 그것도 지라 먹어.
어떤 거 자동 말. 가지 진짜가 나자면 되게 좋고도 되게 가지 자동 말했어.
Yeah, so that could be also one of the examples that they give, for things to not exist through dependent origination. That's not a dependent origination. And also, any permanent thing, anything that doesn't depend on cause and condition is not dependent origination for them.
Right.
So whereas the Prasangika mathematical school says everything that exists, even the permanent thing or impermanent thing, they all are dependent origination.
But that would constitute, the childish or someone who's not intelligent.
Yeah.
A lower school.
Lower school, yes.
Where it would negate dependent origination if there was a partless particle in their belief.
내 여봐이나? 나는 다 드린 참여라. 드린 참여 여봐이나? 다 되는 가서 되는 말에서 걸었어. 참여.
근데 켈라와 샤워이나 자시지만 샤나 다 되는 말라 그랬어.
Yeah, so according to their school, there will be there will be not dependent origination.
I think what I'm trying to ask is on verse 6, by grasping at it, the childish.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be one who believed that there was a non-product, a partless particle.
That's right,
Something
yeah.
that is not produced.
Not produced, yes. Yeah, that's true.
제 간지다 가지고 다 지금 아니 때에 답에 땡주고 아니 된다 롤 맞히게 줄라 아니 그 이제 야본 로고 말해서 그러고 그들로 책 말해서 근데 시와 세대
So yeah, the childish is referring to those who will not understand, and so they can only understand up to the cause and condition. So that which depends on cause and condition is dependent origination. If it's not, then it's not. So to them. And so for them, so that kind of things, those things that depends on cause and condition, those impermanent things or compounded things. So those are existing from their own side, existing. And there are dependent origination also. So if you say, oh, that is a dependent origination, then that makes them understand, or that makes them hold, to the intrinsic existence even stronger. So because it depends on cause and condition, therefore it's existing from its own side. So that makes it even more stronger. So their grasping at existing from its own side becomes even stronger. Yeah.
Would the same hold for a basis of all, Chittamatra school, basis of all?
My mind has that. Chittamatra. Sensabola. Yeah. So it's the same with the mind only school.
Sharamawa, Sharamawan Dodeva, Ani Semsamaka, Gelatin Trabayinda, Ani Yawan to the Nakadachan Demetra, Yawan to Niti, and the Gelatin Trabayinda, and the Ramon Tapares.
So the mind only school talks about three different things, right? So other power phenomena, the well-established phenomena, and imputed phenomena. So other than the imputed phenomena, everything is existing truly. So the imputed phenomena is not existing truly. So they also say that imputed phenomena is not existing truly. But the other power phenomena and well-established phenomena, they are all existing truly and existing from their own side.
But how can it be said that the lower schools have teaching on dependent origin, dependent
origination?
If they negate it themselves by giving the belief. In other words, you either do or you don't.
Yeah.
It does or it doesn't.
That's right, yeah. So for them, it's just cause and condition. So depending on cause and condition only.
So it's just a grosser level of understanding of the dependent, like.
Origination, yeah.
But also, which schools would say that, that they were dependent on their parts?
자실을 때문에 써요. 주견을 때마다 자실을 때문에 안 되지. 가서 다 왔어. 다 왔습니다. There's time.
There's time over us.
This is the figures.
자체 참명인가. 아저나 자체 몇 잡다데 샘데 오마라지 바이 적게는.
It's usually is the 사바단데가 말합니까?
야. 대인지가 대인지가 계는 거 자체래서.
Yeah, so it depending on its parts and particles, like the southern dega madamika and above. So southern dega madamika and pasanga madamika.
Okay. Is Laura? Yeah. We forgot. Okay.
I don't know the exact reference, but I believe it was Geshe Ngawang Rinpoche, and when he was talking about dependent arising, he said he might have phrased it as strongly as that you shouldn't use the word valid basis of designation, and he was saying because it can imply that there's still something existing from its own side. And I just want to make sure I understand it. So he's just saying it's not inherently valid from its own side, in that, it's a conventional agreement that this is a head and this is a fist, but if we all got together and decided to call this a head and this a fist, then it would change what is meant by valid.
tanya bit sama sera, tanya bit sama. Ta tidi ngone nga zo ta shay amaras. Ta dila dijam khasa nga zo ta dila gola gora dila ta khasa ta boxila ora. De dila ta de la boy ta de go mai ma de nga zo ta dila gola ge dala ne ta ta khasa ji.
다 저기다.
Ta sha ba mi sama ta tu de chen ya ma sama ta gola ge dala la ba na ta ko go cha ro. La shora fa. Ten tanya bit sama nugo maras.
매 때 담보 가다가 된 적이 없어요. 다 담보 다 담보 가는 거다.
khasa dabo khasa.
담보 다. 나도 담보 타니에 다 타니 장애지로 뭐. 대티가 그 가르잖아. 된 적이 없어요. 딱 나도 싸워지 방으로 어디 가르치 지리 거는 좀 말이 와서 개요 말이 와서. 나 가지 타니도 많아 있고 그래. 타니가 너나 건 적이 말했어.
Yeah, so of course, whatever you call it, right? Whatever you have called, you have to come to agreement. So everybody has to come to agreement, or somebody who invented the thing. So first thing, right? So nobody has seen that before, and you invented that thing, and then you're going to call this thing such and such, and so you call that thing such and such, and then after that, people will learn that, oh, so this thing was invented and it's called such and such, and then they all learn that. After that, they all think that's this. So this thing is called this. So you know that, and after that, if somebody says something else, then that it harms, to that valid, basis of the designation. But if you change it and then everybody says, okay, now we're going to change it and then we're going to call it this. So legally, if you have changed like that, then you can call. So she can go and change her name, then after that they say, oh yeah, because she changed it, now she's this, now she's Martha, so we know that, and then there's no problem.
pero 나도 롱고라 라요 말들 그러 봤어. 다 롱고라 야 라요나 곧 타니도 매워서 곧 내도 그러 봤. 타니도 매번 별로 노요 그러 봤어.
Yeah, so normally we say there's no horn on rabbit's head, right? There's no horn on rabbit's head. But if you say there is a horn on rabbit's head, does that harm your concept, saying that there's no horn on rabbit's head?
그래서 타니도 요구 그랬어요. 나 랑도 매봐지.
But why? Maybe we can just call that 2 ears, a horn, and then that's it. Then after that, it has a horn, right? Yeah. You can call. I mean, after that, like if you decide to call ears a horn, it's only for the rabbits, not for the people. Only for the rabbits. So we're going to call rabbits, ears a horn, and then after that, then you can call that, right? But before that, until then, it will call, it will harm that concept, thinking that there's no horn on rabbit's head.
그래서 쭉 고라고도 타니 왜 만들면서 고도 타니도 요구 그랬어.
So yeah, it has to, exist. It has to have that nomination or the valid, basis to designate it as such and such.
다 원래 요거는 요단에 가는나 오다는 쪽이 말다. 저는 파파치안에 또 붙는 얘기 말해서까지.
So yeah, so it has to, it exists nominally or conventionally. It exists, but then how does it exist conventionally, right? So then you have to explain that. But if you really look for it, it exists conventionally, but does it really exist? Does it exist from its own side? Does it really exist on its own? Then you have to check it. If it exists on its own, then where can you find it?
그냥 나도 뎁도 열어봤어. 뎁도 열어도 그냥 뎁 내려 쇼를 나도 얘기 말해봤어.
So like just like the book, does the book exist? Yes, right. It does exist, but does it exist on its own? Yeah. So if it does, then which one's the book? Is it the cover? Is it the pages? Is the bottom part of the book or the top part of the book, or which part of the book is the book?
오케이. 그래서 뒤에다 다 투두 주문을 맞춰봐서, 라문을 맞춰봐서, 투두 주문을 맞춰봐서 이용도 봤어.
So it's not existing on its own, or not existing from its own side.
아니 투두 주문을 내려문을 맞춰봐서 들어가도 봤어.
Not existing from its own side.
아니 오마 라지에 라지를 해나 론님을 안 나오고 저 봐요. 이런 것도. 그래.
이런 게 통하면 들어오면 들어갔어.
여러 뭐 통하면 내려문을 들어 요 말했어. 근데 내려문을 들어 요래서 그것이 그랬어.
So the Savatandika Madhyamika, says that things do not exist from its own side without being labeled by the mind. But there are things that exist from its own side. But there aren't things that exist from its own side without being labeled by the mind. Make sense? Things exist, so it has to have two, right? Things exist from its own side, and things has to be also labeled by the mind. So this one, the cup exists from its own side as a cup, and the mind also labeled it as a cup. So therefore there's a cup there.
다 다니면서 대 말했어. 분명 중에 여 말했어. 파트는 이 말했어. 파토be 딱 주버렸어. 미다 주버렸어.
So the words the Prasangika Madhyamika says, no, there isn't anything exists from its own side. It's completely, merely labeled by mind.
다 원래 되려나 원래 다요 말했어. 그 또바 갔다던 대 말했고 타니 트마이 있는 거 타니도 이거 그랬어.
And so then you can call it anything, right? You can label it anything, right? Because it doesn't have to exist from its own side, so you can just label it anything. No, it cannot. It has to be a valid basis of designation again.
Okay.
But doesn't part of being a valid basis mean that it has to function? You can't just all say this is a telephone and then all of a sudden make calls on it. You have, right? I mean,
그건 저거죠.
근데 저거도 그니 되게 저거야.
It has to function.
So that's part of the definition of being a valid basis.
Yeah, that's
그래서
right.
단이 되게 되게 아니 딱 내가
되게
지금
주는 것도
아.
가위치는 동대.
도둑이 되는 막 강아 이거 강아를 까와셔야 말했어. 아니 도만데 이 강아디가 땡에 봐. 되레지가 다 거기 까와 자기 봐.
So like in a pillar, what's the definition of pillar, right? There's a function of the pillar. The pillar has to hold the beam, right? So that, the thing that functions as holding a pillar is called holding a beam is called a pillar, right? So if it doesn't hold a pillar, hold a beam, it's not a pillar, is it? So what about Ashoka pillar? You know Ashoka pillar? It's just, there has no beam, it's just a pillar, but it's a post. The King Ashoka, built all these pillars wherever he, constructed, the holy sites of the Buddha, and he built his.
Okay. I think now we not talk too much. We have homework.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We go to short-term homework. Okay, homework. Can you wait?
Laura has it?
Questions? I think I wrote down one of the questions incorrectly, so I apologize. The first question is, the first verse speaks of the Buddha as a teacher on Excel. Find other text sources that talk about this quality of perfection, i.e. perfect teacher, perfect teachings, perfect activity, etc.
잼발라나면 똑바 벗어 줘봐. 젠데 벗어 줘봐. 뻥뻥 벗어 줘봐. 틀려 벗어 줘봐. 벗어 줘봐 생각을 했어.
다들 가서 직접 당부리라. 나는 되게 다티 가서 분소가 때문에
쇼가가 쉬어들어서. Did you find any?
Did you find any other?
저도 내 하고서 분소가 지나대 저도 따라 하고서.
So you understand about the perfection, right? Okay.
저도 고한데 고한도 쓰대 고 대나로.
Understand any perfection? We're talking about any perfections in the first verse here.
단단도 나도 시도 와. 저도 될 고하라도 가리 말지 고하를 오는데.
So you understand what are the four perfections, right? We're talking about here. Yeah.
The four perfections being
저도 될고 for perfection은 가리 하고 그래 저도 될.
Perfect abandonment. Perfect teacher.
아니. 빵와 벗어 줘봐. 틀려 벗어 줘봐.
And then perfect activities, right?
Is it the same thing as he's freed himself from all dangers, he's skilled in the means to free others from dangers?
대말. 대래 또 빵와 벗어 놨다.
탑을 켜봤어요.
아니.
So that's like he's not only freed himself, but he's also skilled in the method, to free others, right?
Right.
Like that.
He reacts compassionately to all.
Whether they have helped him or not, like that. Yeah.
He works for the sake of whether so that's the same as the four perfections?
그래요. 가서 생기 가서 펜도 마도 참았던 잡았어야죠.
벌써 때로 야초면 좀 들어오잖아. 나 이제 벗어서 봐.
Yeah, so that one you can say.
잼발로 또 말라나면 봐나 아니 이제 벗어서 고도 그래서.
So that part is the part where he performs the deeds for others. So he's perfect in performing the deeds for others, because he can teach, he can he knows, and he has compassion, and he doesn't have this discrimination or bias towards others and all these things. So that's yeah. But then also it talks about you can say that also because he is a perfect teacher, because he's perfect teacher because he's very skilled in teaching others like that.
아니 강식 그저 소바데 아니 그런 거 강도 받아 이제라 아니 다지 아니 지체lem이 봐 아니 그런 게 아니 취도 시험마다 막 그래서 즈바인 바지 대체로 된다 봐이다 즈바인다 가지 또 바쁘서 봐 캠바쁘서 또 바쁘서 봐 그러고
And then it says, he who sees on the basis of seeing. So he has the perfect realization because he sees all the things. And then because he speaks on the basis of realizing all these things, because he has realized and he speaks, therefore his speech, his speaking or teaching makes him the perfect teacher.
아니 딱 놈의 대실에 좋아한다는 방법부터 바꾸는 거 그래서.
And then because he has conquered all the delusion, right? The four maras, the four negative forces, therefore he has the perfect abandonment.
다 제주 때문에 들었음도 대바다는 틀려부터 말했다. 틀려지면 저번 적을 했어.
And because he has these three perfections, therefore all his activities becomes perfect.
Okay.
Right? So those are the four perfections.
다 조선배 시만 도서야 돼.
So did you see these in other texts?
대다 된다고도 저도
Or
도서.
similar to that? That or similar to that?
Yeah. What text they talk about?
The treatise on the middle way by Gyume.
나 뜻은 올라 그랬어요.
Yes.
The fundamental treatise on the middle way.
오케이.
Sawashira.
Mamum Chenmo.
그래서 뭐 소문나 돼.
That is Sanghi with the
그것도 이해되는 거라고. Any other text?
on the refuge part? Sanghi Kuyendra.
같이 줄은 내 고안 내 고는 내 거로 고안도 도움이 돼.
Yeah, so it talks about the qualities of the Buddha, why Buddha is a perfect object of refuge, right?
Yeah. Okay. That is even are you guys right? Did you find anyone?
Any
You
other
found
text?
something?
So you found some that text.
Who found?
Fundamental wisdom.
I have the same experience.
He's a lot of years. Anyone have?
The compendium without conditions by Dharma.
All the thing I heard that day.
Yes.
That's good. Okay, then second question.
Oh, wait, one more. The ornament for the birds and the fortunate.
Karo.
It's like the dedication phrase at the beginning, the protectors of each and every sentient being, gods who conquer mighty Mara.
통화만
You perfectly know all things.
좀 봐지 주세요.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Okay, because I tried to make you guys read other books, try to find either. Otherwise, you just looking there. That doesn't make much fault. Also, I want to be a little bit more doubt. If you got doubt, then you can get questions. I cannot give all the answers that we can discussion. Okay, oh, not like that. We don't debate like that, but we debate, talk then more clear. Okay, second.
Verse 2 says that the root of all degenerations, sufferings is ignorance. Find text sources which explain how all the tenet schools, Vaibhashika, Sattva, Chikamatra, and Madhyamika, define ignorance.
Okay. How about you guys? Found? You don't find, do you find anything? Or you just thinking?
I found one.
Okay. First, I want to think who found the sources. Okay. Yes.
Vaibhashika, meditation on the selflessness of persons, not the selflessness of phenomena, is the means to abandon delusion.
So.
So which text?
Geshe Tsulga.
Geshe Tsulga's text.
그래. 싫어마.
마당한테다는데
너 대화.
벌써 domdagi tina.
아니야. 그래서.
So what does it say?
What is it?
Meditation on the selflessness of persons, selflessness of persons, not the selflessness of phenomena, is the means to abandon delusion, according to the Vaibhashika.
알레
가사기
가사.
다음에. 가사기 다음에 고메디 가서 너무 보면 답했어.
대도.
저기다 한 말이야. 가사 다음에. 제가 말로.
대도 싫어마. 너도 집어를 봐서. 가사 다음에 그뭐됐다. 가사 다음에 봐야 답 시간에 만들어와. 얘는 저 머리 봐서 가린 말. 저거 들어와.
The question is about ignorance, right?
Well, isn't that the delusion?
What's ignorance?
Ignorance is a delusion.
Same? 말이 봐.
알레 모나산에 대해서 녀몽 방을 했다 가서 녀몽세 했다 가서 말이 봐서 녀몽세. 녀몽 방에 그때 탑시대 때 가서 가서 다음에 보면 돼. 저기다 말을
대대 this correct your answer. But my question may be not that. 이 저도 빠서 가들 말했어. Nyumo pa tabi karame, nyumo da kare nguta karese. Tan maripa ngu karese karese.
Yeah. So what was the question? Can you read the question again?
Yeah, the question is,
What is the maripa? What is the ignorance? Yeah.
How do you define? Yeah. Define the ignorance according to those schools.
Okay, but your question is what is the antidote to the ignorance?
How to antidote to ignorance.
Antidote.
Your answer is antidote to the ignorance. Not the defining ignorance itself, but you're talking about the antidote to the ignorance. So you're talking about the selflessness of phenomena, person, right? Meditating on the selflessness of person, and as a means to abandon the delusion. So that talks about the antidote, not the delusion itself. So Geshe says, according to their school, according to those schools, how do they define the ignorance?
Okay. Okay.
Come on.
Do you find?
Yes. For the Vaibhashika, it's the wrong view of a permanent, heartless, independent person.
Pedro.
Marta,
아직 데이트 좀 봐.
Raja도 Marta, 따지러 오죠.
다시는 오지 좀 봐라. 또 봐.
따지러 오죠. 좀 봐요.
좀 봐라 그랬어. Okay.
Partless?
Permanent,
Are you found the text some text or what?
a couple of texts.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So Babeshka, right? So according to Babeshka, yeah.
Okay.
The 따지러 오죠. 좀 봐요.
좀 봐. 강아 너무 잡아들어. 좀 들어.
So that's
참어라봐.
that's the subtle or the gross ignorance.
Gross ignorance.
Gross ignorance.
Gross ignorance.
Intellectually informed, yeah, gross.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
I was trying to understand the question. Was it how they assert the two truths? Is that what they were talking about?
No, I'm not talking to tutors.
For each of the four schools, though, I didn't quite understand the question. Is it how they define ignorance?
Yes,
Yeah,
how they define
yeah.
ignorance.
Isn't the definition of ignorance the same for all the schools as not knowing?
This is good. You know, that tells you the matter. She don't worry about them. No,
But
good.
how not knowing what in what way?
That's what I was saying was
Yeah.
if you address the way that they assert the two truths, that would be ignorant of those two truths.
네, 다 그런 거다 대번이 샤단제라. 다 대번이는 다 몽수제라. 다 몽수찬에 되네 그런 거 같은데 가가샤 줄었어.
도저히 다 모두야 이마 고샤가 된다. 콘도 자다 말아야 다. 된다고 말했어.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, you can do that way also, but how do they define the ignorance in that way?
배나 시라마와든 배는 직다디 아니 머리바 말라 그랬어. 너는 직다 너는 말은 직다 가다 다 들어왔어. 텔다나 제대로다 또 따이러서.
So like when you talk about the view of the transitory collection, the view of the transitory collection, is that grasping a true existence? I mean, grasping at the self? Is it self-grasping ignorance?
Okay, so how each of the schools grasp it?
Define the self-grasping ignorance. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Deborah.
Should we go to the next school? South Africa?
Yes.
Um,
Go either one. Go. You can go find any one.
seeing person as existing self-sufficiently and substantially.
네. 아저도 저도 된다.
서로.
세대다 도대바.
Okay. That's correct. That could resolution of the terror. And I couldn't jitati Mariba Maila to us.
그래, 도대바라. 근데
Jitati Hiram the Mariba Mariba Colorado.
그래.
Condolana and Raila Mumbe, Mumba something. Three Javaris.
라이라 몽바.
Raila Mumbe no major same joke. Kashina Shiramon do the dead Mandavari. Kanji Shirama Sena, Raila Mumbe no major same joke. Kanji Zeva Kopsala Mandeva. And the chick Deba Costumla. But the battery Javaris. Jita the Sony Shiramida de Maris. Shirama. And though they were revising Gadam to shows, Kupladoka. And the Lamari Pashagres. Gadam to show. She but I shot the same Juja Jagres.
And so the Babashka, and anyway, so that's another different another way of defining, according to the Babashka school, is like just a mere, what's that, never the
까봐삼지. 인자바 까도 문자바세.
the mother, the Chiramogi.
샤라모는 다즉 그러고. 라이마 바까서. 라이라 몸바자.
So the mere ignorance, the mere ignorance to this to its object, the mere ignorance to its object, is how the ignorance is defined. So like say, it's something that's not beautiful, seeing as beautiful, that's ignorance. And so the mere ignorance to its object. And so that's the Vaibhashika. And the Sautantika, it has to be like contradicting to contradicting to the wisdom. So the wisdom that knows the truth, right? So if it contradicts with that, then it will be ignorance. And so if you say like, realizing the wisdom realizing selflessness of person, right? So wisdom realizing selflessness of person is the wisdom. So contradicting, so that mind that contradicts with that will be the ignorance. So if contradicts directly, so seeing the person as existing self, and instead of selflessness, if you say existing as self, then that will be the ignorance. So the view of the transitory collection, according to the Vaibhashika, it's a wisdom, it's a knowledge, so it's not ignorance. And whereas the Sautantika says it's ignorance also. So that's the difference between those two.
Okay. Any other you guys? 오늘 라디오에 뭐나 아니 리바이싱 같은 것도 주게 다 시바라 그래서 거래.
더더더 주거라.
라일람 몸에 남에 주게 셈죠. 네, 가로. 싫어마. 오늘 라디오에.
더더버.
더더버 가다 담에도 싫어 리바이싱 같은 것도 주게 셈죠. 아니 라디오에 라일람 몸에 남에 주게 셈죠. 라일람 몸에 남에 주게 셈죠. 아니 리바이싱 같은 들으자 그래서 다 대라는 영모지 말이 받아. 아니 다 대왕시 몸자가 도왔어.
So the Sautantika Madhyamika, and it's very similar. So it says that it's a mental factor that contradicts with the wisdom, understanding the truth or the real object. So when you say the truth, so when you see the things as existing, empty of existence from its one side, or empty existing truly, then that which contradicts to that wisdom directly, will be the ignorance.
아니 단지 왜 아니 뭐지람 있는데 당기 생각을 별로 없어요. 뭐 봐야 돼. 강사 다도 뭐지람 있는데 당기 생각을 별로 없어요. 그래서 들이 뭐 봐야 돼.
그래서 너도 봐야 가서 오마르 안 줘봐.
오마르 라이라 몸에 남에 주베 셈죽.
라이라 몸에
남에 주베. 근데 셈죽 말이 돼.
So anyway, so the Bible, the Savatandika Madhyamika, it says that it's a mental factor that is the aspect of engaging in its objects ignorantly. So the aspect that engages in its object ignorantly, and the Prasangika Madhyamika, says it has to be like directly contradicting, because of Uchila. And so it says it has to be, observing or focusing on a same object, but seeing it in a directly contradicting way. So if it is seeing it directly contradicting, then the mind that sees the wisdom, realizing selflessness or emptiness, then that will be like directly contradicting, and to that, and although seeing the same object. So seeing the same object, focusing on the same object, and sees that as contradicting from the wisdom realizing emptiness.
Okay.
So that will be the ignorance.
It doesn't really tell you what ignorance is, because that doesn't
Did you that
understanding. It just tells you, that's like a general term. Ignorance is not seeing how we see it, but it doesn't say how do we see it, how we see wisdom. It's just saying ignorance is not seeing it correctly. But it doesn't tell you what ignorance is.
더 저런 딜라이트 마리보 통다 가래 라고도 통다 가래 통고를 딜라이트 얘는 마리보 하러 가라는 된 라이트 봤어.
또 마리바 텔링 셈지들 마리바라 그랬어. 텔링 시바들 마리바레스.
And so that mental factor or that mind, which sees the same thing, that is seen by the wisdom realizing emptiness, so the wisdom that's seen by the wisdom, that same sees the same thing that's seen by the wisdom, but in a contradictory way. So the wisdom sees as existing in empty of inheritance. So that mind which sees that existing inherently would be the ignorance. So that is how it's defined, the ignorance.
pena china tanjulena pena kansa dante so ani mariba mares mariba ti mares
tajuru
kono tamora kansa dante ro ani ta mariba kane tel charge sha
kansa dante
mena kansa chede bize mena ani mariba ti mares ti mariba ta ani debate dente ta
so the grasping at existence of the self of person, grasping at the existence of the self of person, according to the the Sautantika school, it would be ignorance, right? But according to the Prasangika Madhyamika, that's not ignorance, and it has to be grasping at the true existence or existing inherently.
Okay. But this is too complicated. I make it also a little complicated questions. Okay? You have questions? Yes, sir?
I just wonder, is that explained in the tenets by Church of the also? Because I couldn't find it in there. Or is it? I could only find what they
No, no, share it.
저는 시다 거다가 단수도 쉐어로 있는 머리바에다 신경이 드니요 말이야. 야 머리바 가리 엠바.
Yeah, so not the way that Geshe just explained, but yes, it does talk about what is the abandonment.
What
is the abandonment that is abandoned, in the Sautantika school or Vaibhashika school, and they all talks about the abandonment. Well, it's similar, but it's just a different way of defining it. So the one that just Jennifer and Deborah said, those of course is mentioned in the tenets. In the tenets text.
Okay. Then, do you have more?
Is there more questions?
Yeah, one question. So we didn't talk about the Chittamatra definition of ignorance.
Karo.
Samsambe.
Samsambe ranga tini taban pade tulagres.
So anyway, it's existing form.
No. Sure tini taban.
Existing externally. So things existing externally, grasping at the things as existing externally is the ignorance according to the Chittamatra school.
Okay, but still read more books, try to find more, okay? Okay, last question.
To whom did Buddha teach dependent origination?
Okay? That's all sorry.
To whom?
다음은 중국 동북 갑성어로 이백 갑성어로 되나?
When did he teach? Dependent origination.
Second turning.
Second.
I say he tried it first.
Yes, started. So you're saying first?
He didn't call it that, but he taught it.
You talk about dependent origination?
Liberation has a process, but that's kind of original. Cause and condition and suffering and cause and condition.
Yeah. 대략 지체들도 송어를 왔어. 난 네가 없는 네가 땡주대 받친 걸어 이백 갑성어를.
So yeah, of course, the dependent origination again. The low, the gross level, or the low level or the gross level. Of course, it's mentioned that it talks about the cause and condition, right? So suffering being the result, and the source of the suffering, the true origin being the cause and the condition of the suffering. So of course, there you talk about the dependent origination, the grosser level. But this kind of like dependent origination, like emptiness, is only taught in the second turn of the will of Dharma.
Okay. In a patient you might think of some patient in a so you might it's not
So that's my question, right? That's my question, and I'm just thinking it that way, but it's not clearly mentioned in the text. So you will not find a text which says that way, but that's my logic.
Okay? Yes.
So who is it that he taught it to?
대단한 콜로 바위치 저거들 소송을 했어.
To the disciples of the second turn of the Dharma.
네. 다 뜻을 다 telekondeten 미용의 시바다 라이온의 시바 몽보가 다 시작해 보면 라게노게 좀
Yeah, so he taught, in the Rajgir vulture speak, right? The vulture speak mountain, and there are so many disciples, like the humans and nagas and gods and all kinds of beings who came to listen to the teaching there.
Okay. 다음 담아대. Last.
I might have gotten this wrong, but the question I wrote down was,
Who's foolish person?
who is an unintelligent person?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Who? Yes.
Someone who is fake and not reason.
Huh?
Someone who listens to teachings only with faith,
Oh, I
not using their reason.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if the question was talking about the lower faculties and sharper faculties, or if it was talking about, because it's relation to verse 3 of dependent origination. So that would be the mind over school and lower, because their dependent origination increases their belief in true existence. So it's not conjugal endemic is school and higher.
Okay. Yes.
I would think that I would go, the, Svatantrika, Madhyamika, and lower.
Okay. Okay. Martha.
Yeah, I was along the same lines. There was an excerpt in Liberation of Urgyen from day 22 that said, our compassionate teacher taught at various levels of disciples with inferior to superior mentalities. Hence, he first taught that the person is empty of substantial autonomous existence. To disciples with better minds, he made the distinction between phenomena that truly exist and those that do not. To people with even better minds, he taught that phenomena do not truly exist, but that they can be established by their natures. And to those with still better minds, he taught that all phenomena of nature do not exist. So I would say those last ones are the ones that are the most intelligent, and then progressively less intelligent people.
그럼 뭐 담당해서.
예, 더 담다서다. 당아서 더 가서 당아서 쉐드라 더 데버도 메가 송어레스. and chandala then ramon do ba me basong tamut me basong tel ha chadra then ramon do tsana me basong.
Okay. Okay, anyone? Deborah, you have something?
This is Abu Jalsa James commentary, ordained is from the verse, one of the stanzas.
Okay.
Anyone who lacks interest in the meaning of emptiness clearly has no sense, shows how very foolish he or she is.
So,
다들 맞아도
동반님.
동반님 과명에 대해서 아니 근데 다 갔다 룸보라서 그랬어.
How about us? 아니 다 채널은 바지에 점다자고 그랬어. 제가 로라라이든 다 링리고 되나. 제가 내 점다자고. 거기다 점다라 신도 그러고 바지 점다자고 그랬어.
Yeah,
점다 엄마도 좀 바지라고 그랬어.
So I was just saying, what about us? So we are unintelligent also, right? But anyway, so yeah, you're right. The answer that you gave, so it has to apply to the proponents, of the tenets.
예, 단다지단 로라라이드 땅금도 제대 메시딩도 고 다들 뭐 공부들에 와야 되나. 단데 바지 점다라잖아 이거 그랬어.
And so yeah, it has to apply to the proponent, of the tenets. Right? So,
니간 마을 맞다 고 점다전이잖아 그랬어.
so it is all, related with the tenets, the different tenets, who accepts what.
Okay.
So is it all the tenants except?
Yeah, this is all.
Prasanna?
What?
Is it referring to all the tenants, all the schools
Proponents of
except
the
for
tenets,
Yeah, all the proponents of the schools except for the Prasanna?
그래서
그래서 엄마 다주바마도 신다 상마라 되는 바 가서 로봇이고 뒤에 엄마 상마.
바지 뜨기다.
Yes.
고문도 그러니까 단데 라인 봐. 콘솔라 아니 그러고 땡데 연자 안에랑 거 잡아 근데 봐도 고 휴체도 그랬어.
다란주 다주바 멘체라.
다들 먼저라.
상마라.
안에랑 거 잡았잖아. 다제 원래 때는 단다 돈이 또 비따올 파야노 그랬어.
And so yeah, so it's only referring only to the Prasangika, the proponent of the Prasangika schools. Other than that, all other proponents of other schools, they're all like unintelligent.
오케이. 가나 고들 응고만 말하래. 응고만 그랬어. 아니 응고만 또 다까지 단지에 다와 마와이다. 고도 된 조금에 말했어.
So those are the proponents of the lower schools. The proponent of lower schools, is all they propound that things exist, from their one side.
오케이.
진도 왜 요새 와서라. 나중에
랑도 좋아요.
So things exist from their own side, things exist inherently. So
only
only thing is that is similar with the Pasangya Madhyamaka school about the Southern Madhyamaka school is that they also say that things do not exist truly.
Okay. Okay, now there's one question. Can you write down? those. Tindelo Chunidia, Sachi Shego Karo. Jindi Shiko, take go to the Karim Patashus.
So we talked about the 12th link of dependent origination today, right? So how do you, let's say, divide it into 4 parts, right? Into a cause and effect, 4 parts into cause and effect. So among them, okay, the second question, among the 12th link of dependent origination, how many of them are delusions? How many of them are delusions, how many of them are karma, and how many of them are suffering? That's the second question.
I don't know.
And then the verse number 5, right? It says devoid of intrinsic existence. What is that? What's the meaning of intrinsic, devoid of intrinsic existence? I usually say empty of inherent existence. Same thing, okay? Empty of inherent existence or devoid of intrinsic existence.
Okay.
So we talked about the depending on cause and condition, right? Because it depends on cause and condition, therefore it doesn't exist from its own side. Right? If it exists from its own, if it depends on the cause and condition, then it doesn't depend. It should not. Because it depends on cause and condition, therefore it is not existing from its own side. But according to the lower schools, it even strengthens more, right? That it exists from its own side. How does that? How does it strengthen even more that it exists from their own side? So how does seeing the things as existing from as things existing through depending on cause and condition strengthens existing from their own side?
Let me read us another book, okay?
Make sense? No, because it's like, it's very contradicting to the Pasangya Madhyamaka school, right? But the Pasangya Madhyamaka school says that because it depends on cause and condition, therefore it doesn't exist from its own side. But here it says because it depends on cause and condition, therefore it exists from its own side. So how does it make it depend and exist from its own side? Through seeing depending on cause and condition.
Isn't that exactly what the Buddha taught, opposite of the Buddha taught?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. But the lower schools, it strengthens them to see it existing from its own side even more, right? So how does that?
So the question is, how does the lower schools think that this strengthens it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, now we stop. 가르라고 고베치가 펜다도 뭐
Quando eu digo do direito eu acho
근데
que
이제 자베센데 봐도 되게 저도 미제도 샤도 가와데 이제도 저래도 이제는 도와주죠. 이 사람 코퍼레이션 미미제에 되제시래. 드메치도 오모자면 더 오모는 지금 간제게 되제도 누가 더 비자라서 오케이, thank you. Finish. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's 30 minutes late.
I forgot.